Hi everyone, in today's lesson we're going to talk about how to craft a 20 out of 20 writing piece in your selective skills exam. Stay tuned. Recap framework, and we're going to talk about how to create fire. So here's the framework. The framework's pretty easy. Are you using your 5 senses and body reactions? Right? You guys have heard me harp on and on about this, but how many people still don't use all 5 senses? Right? How many people still use only 1 sense? Sight. Right? How many of you are actually using taste? How many of you are actually using sound and smell, right, and feeling? And how many of you are actually integrating body reactions completely into your atmosphere, right? Again, not many of you. That's the first bit, atmosphere. Second one, figurative language. We went through figurative language a lot in the first 2 weeks. We talked about how to create personification. We gave you the emotional vocab list. Comment down below, emotional vocab, if you remember what I talked about in terms of personification. Then I taught you how to create metaphors and similes as well, right? Then what you got to consider is, are you making the writer stop, right? Are you communicating that you're different to the other 10,000 kids? Remember what I said last week, you need to make sure that your writing is unique and complex, right? If your writing is just average, what's going to happen is you can't differentiate yourself from the other 10,000 kids. So if you understand stop, write down the word stop. Then write down the word 10,000 if you understand that you need to make sure that you make the writer stop, because otherwise you'll be characterized alongside the other 10,000 kids. Write down the word 10,000 if you understand that. Then, are you communicating the pain? Are you communicating the difficult decision? Remember what we talked about last week in terms of the difficult decision. The main way that we create a complication is by having a character experience something extremely difficult, right? Having them make a decision between these two kind of impossible choices, right? It could be whether or not to continue on their climb of Mount Everest or to save their own life in order to serve their family, right? It could be something like, whether or not to dob your friend in, because you saw them do something bad, or do you just keep quiet because they're friend? Again, difficult decisions. Comment down below if you understand difficult decision. Right? All this framework is extremely important. This is your bread and butter. Right? This is what you need to understand in the very beginning. Right? If you don't have these elements, your writing is not going to improve. These are all frameworks. Comment down below framework if you understand. I want all of you to understand how important this framework is. And once you master this framework, you're pretty much halfway there. I'd say 80% there. If you master this framework, if you're able to do all of this, you should be there. Write down framework if you understand. Now, after this, what we got to understand is we still need to make fire, because just having framework, we see a lot of writers with really, really good framework where you're doing atmosphere, figurative language, and all of this great stuff. But again, you still need the fire in order to make everything work, because otherwise your writing is still going to be cold and weak, right? If you just follow the formula to a T and you're not showing your fire, your writing is still going to be cold and weak. So let's talk about how to actually make fire. Let's start off with the following thing. So number one is we need to tap into the character's pain. A lot of you are still kind of writing from your brain, right? Don't write from your brain, tap into the pain. Can you guys write that down? Don't write from your brain, tap into the pain. Who understands what I mean? In other words, I don't want you to think too much about when you're writing. I want you to just tap into the character's pain and communicate that on paper. If you can tap into the character's pain and you can really envision and feel the character's surroundings, and you can talk about why they're painful, right? And then do that on top of all the frameworks, what kind of mark do you reckon you're going to get? Because remember, again, most kids don't do this. If you can tap into the pain, you're going to be in the top 1% easily, right? And so the way we make fire is, again, envision, and I want yourself to feel the character's surroundings. So if, say, for example, the character is stuck in a storm, they're cold and wet, imagine a similar scenario, right? Because I know all of you have been in situations where you've been locked outside, you've been cold, you've been wet. How does it feel? Tap into that pain. And so let's talk a little bit about this, right? Envision and feel the character surroundings. Find a past memory in which you experienced a similar pain, right? So it could be something like a cold and stormy night, right? Tap into that pain. Remember being locked out. What happens? Let's say you've been embarrassed in front of the classroom, right? Talk about how embarrassing, right? And talk about how that felt when you were embarrassed in front of the classroom. Talk about how your cheeks felt. Talk about what was racing through your mind. Again, once you start tapping into the pain and you start writing from your heart, this is when you start to make fire, right? But remember, again, you still need to keep in mind the frameworks, because if you don't have the framework, the fire is going to go uncontrollable, right? You need to make sure that you make fire and you still have the frameworks, okay? And so again, the way we do this is find strong and complex words to describe the surroundings, because remember, again, once you tap into the pain, some of you might struggle to find words. And what do you need to do? You need to use Google. You need to use a thesaurus to, again, try to find the complex words in order to describe the surroundings, okay? So again, simple formula, tap into your past memory, tap into a memory when you've experienced a similar pain, right, to the character, and then find strong and complex words to describe your surroundings and to describe how you felt during that moment, okay? And so that's what we're going to be talking about today, and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do today on your own, okay? So again, type in pain if you understand, pain, and fire if you understand exactly what I mean. So let's talk about it. So sometimes, let's say you're out of ideas, right? I know here. So here's what I wrote. The feral storm sneered diabolically as it commanded the clouds to loom into a hellish black mass. I could feel its torment wrenching the waves into oblivion, swirling in a vortex of chaos. My heart trembled to the spasm of the ocean as the rickety boat groaned in despair. I knew I shouldn't have come out if only I had listened. So everybody sees this, right? Comment now down below. What are you noticing? What are you noticing about this writing? Have I applied the frameworks? Do you guys see the frameworks here? Who sees figurative language? Comment down below. Who sees the 5 senses being used? Comment down below. Who sees personification being used? Comment down below. Right? Who sees a difficult decision? I knew I shouldn't have come out if only I had listened. Who sees a difficult decision? Who sees a fire in this? I want you guys all to comment down below what you see, right? And don't just say me. Comment down below specifically what you see. Stacking, excellent, great work, Nam. Imagery, very good. Mega, lots of vocab. Pain, excellent. Sabrina. Again, comment down below exactly what you see. Figurative language, excellent, Kieran. Lots of figurative language in 5 senses. Okay, so you guys understand what's going on, right? Again, of course, I'm using the formula, I'm using the framework, so I'm using everything, but also I'm tapping into the emotion and I'm going very, very deep into the emotion, right? I'm talking about the diabolical nature, the evilness of the storm, right? I'm talking about how it's a hellish black mass, right? It's almost like it's from hell, right? It's so evil that it's from hell. I'm talking about the torment, the torture, right, that the character feels, or that I feel as the waves are being wrenched around. The chaos, right? Who's seeing the emotions here? Comment down below. Who's seeing the fire? Write down fire if you see the fire. My heart trembled into the spasm, trembled to the spasm of the ocean. Again, I'm personifying the ocean, but also spasm. Spasm means when someone's uncontrollable, when they're chucking a fit, right? My heart trembled. There I know that I'm fearful. The rickety boat groaned in despair. So we know the boat is helpless. We know that the character feels helpless. Who sees what I'm doing here? Comment down below if you understand. Very good. Comment down below fire if you understand that I'm combining fire with frameworks. And then we see the difficult decision. I knew I shouldn't have come out if only I had listened. So there we have the conflict, right? If only I'd listened to whatever, my parents, I listened to someone else who told me that I shouldn't have come out in this weather, then I wouldn't have experienced the helplessness and the storm that I'm experiencing right now. Now, I want you guys to comment down below. Is this beyond you? Can you guys do this? Do you think you guys can do this? Write down, I can do it. Right? If you're not sure if you can do it, write, I'm not sure. Because again, this is not beyond you. I've seen the quality of the work that you guys have written down, and this is not beyond you. Again, all you need to do is you need to start feeling. Once you start feeling, go on Google. Like, look here. I thought of first using the word ferocious to describe the storm. Then I see the word savage, wild, feral, untamed, right? And these are great words to use, right? Rapacious, ravening, aggressive. These are all great words to use to describe the storm. The vicious storm, the brutal storm, the brutish storm. Who sees this? The monstrous, the abominable, right? All of these great words that you can use. Again, screeched, right? There's another word that you could have used, right? Let's say you wanted to use the word confusion, right? Could you find a more powerful word than confusion? We see hesitation, skepticism, bewilderment, incertitude, disorientation. Try to always find the more complex word to use, right? Let's say we have the word groan. Everybody sees these words, right, that I've been using. Groan, whimper, murmur, moan, whine. Again, all of these are words that you guys should be using, and you should be doing research, and you should be using Google to help you write. Because remember, again, how are you going to improve your vocab? You're going to improve your vocab just by doing it on yourself. Can you improve vocab just by sitting in your room without the internet? Right? You guys are so blessed to have the internet. So use it. Use Google in your own time. This is not cheating. It's just helping you write the best possible narrative possible. All right? So make sure you use Google. Make sure you use YouTube. Watch Life of Pi. Watch the whole video. And then here's going to be the 48-hour impossible challenge. Number one, watch Life of Pi storm scene. Right? So I've included the link below. Then after that, what I want you guys to use is to write the entire narrative using frameworks plus fire. Right? So you guys see the sheet that I have. Right? All you guys need to do is to use frameworks and fire to create the narrative. Right? Now again, once you go onto the sheet, you'll see that I actually have some requirements. So again, write a narrative based on the storm, but again, use your imagination to explore all the different possibilities. So it doesn't have to be just about what's in the movie. It can be your own. I hope you guys all enjoyed that little clip, that little snippet from our trainings that we actually run every week. Now, if this is something that you want to get involved in, if this is something that you want to try out in terms of a longer course, feel free to check out our website, scullytraining.com, or call me on 0433-008-863 to learn more about how you can be involved. We have a lot of free training programs that you can get involved in, and paid ones. If you really want that extra help, click on the link below or call me on 0433-008-863, and I'll talk to you soon.